What's up, you guys? This is Jay Youngo2 back with another video, and in this video, I'm going to be discussing the truth about the GOAT conversation. Enjoy. The term GOAT has been used for a very, very long time in basketball. And as we all know, the consensus GOAT is Michael Jordan. Most people view Michael Jordan as the greatest basketball player to ever step foot on earth. But over the years, there have obviously been many, many arguments about who the GOAT is. Some people may say Kobe Bryant's the GOAT. You have the conversation out there that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the GOAT. Some people even say Bill Russell because he won 11 championships. Some people say it's LeBron James. It's many, many great players throughout NBA history that have come and changed the game of basketball in many ways. There are guys right now who we are going to consider the greatest players of all time, the greatest players that we've witnessed play. And the truth is that there is no GOAT. I'm not trying to people please. I'm not trying to do any of this. I'm just being strictly honest. Personally, in my opinion, there is no GOAT. You can have your own GOAT when the discussion of talking about basketball. But the truth of the matter is that I feel like we should start using the GOAT of this generation. The top players of the generation, of our generation. For me, the 2010s is my generation of basketball. That's when I really just grew up really, truly loving the game of basketball. And obviously, for me, my GOAT would be LeBron James. Regardless of him being 4 and 6 in the NBA Finals, the fact is, the man has just made the finals this whole decade. So you've been forced to see this man's face throughout the entire decade of the 2010s. And now, going back into the past about Michael Jordan, all of these guys have came into the game and really just changed the game. Michael Jordan is the perfect example of a guy who we've seen as having basically the perfect basketball career, in a sense. This man, he wins 6 NBA championships, doesn't lose any, doesn't go to a Game 7 in the NBA Finals. He wins 5 MVPs, multiple time scoring champion. This man, he's accomplished a lot of things on his resume that really nobody can compare to. And he dominated in the 90s. And you go into the 2000s, you can basically say that Kobe Bryant, you can consider him possibly, or Tim Duncan. There's many guys who were really dominant in the 2000s who you consider them the greatest player of that era. Obviously, in the 80s, it was Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. Those two guys were really the face of the 80s in the NBA. And you go into our generation now in the 2010s, really, and now going into the 2020s, there's going to be many new guys who can basically make their name for themselves as the best player of that generation. It could be a Giannis of the world. It could be a Luka Doncic of the world. It could be anybody who can possibly end up as one of the greatest players of this upcoming generation of basketball. But the matter of reality is this is always going to be in the discussion. The critics of the media, everybody is going to constantly bring up who is the greatest player of all time. And LeBron James and Kobe Bryant, all these guys, you can really legitimately make a case for them for being the greatest player of all time. As I said before, many people have different GOATs. Some people think LeBron James is the GOAT. Some people think Michael Jordan is the GOAT. Some people think Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, and many guys, possibly even Steph Curry. These guys, they come and they just change the game of basketball in many ways. And Steph Curry is a huge example of this. When you're looking into the new generation of basketball, thanks to Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors and their style of play, there's a new style of play now into the NBA because of him. Many guys who are considered in that GOAT category, they've either had, obviously, the accolades, the talent. And for me personally, it's that clutch gene. I feel like that is a huge part of making your case as becoming one of the greatest players of all time and your ability to finish games. That is a huge part, and really just handle the biggest adversity moments throughout your entire career. And, I feel like for that case, when it comes to being the GOAT of adversity and many things, you can give that to LeBron James for sure, because this man, he went through the most adversity out of any basketball player who ever played the game. This man, he came out of high school and he was regarded as already one of the greatest basketball players to possibly play the game. And he went out and he exceeded expectations. Nobody expected him to be this talented of a player and to finish his career as one of the greatest of all time. But he went out and he did it. When you look at overall talent, you can give that to Michael Jordan because Michael Jordan knew what it took to win, and he had the skill and talent to win at the very highest level. Not only that, but you can even possibly give him the clutch game because when times mattered the most, when his team needed him the most, he would deliver in his own way. But the term GOAT is being thrown around all the time, especially now because of LeBron James and him winning these NBA championships and him winning this 4th NBA championship. The discussion was coming back already, but the truth is that it changes nothing. To be honest with you, like I said before, I feel like the term GOAT should be used for generations, but when we all look at the consensus, Michael Jordan is still regarded as the greatest basketball player to ever play the game of basketball. That's personally my opinion, and when you look at his career and you look at all the accomplishments he's had, the man has the best basketball career, in my opinion, in terms of being the greatest basketball player. And as I was explaining earlier, you can also use the term GOAT for different categories. There's many guys who are the greatest at what they did in certain areas. Some guys are considered some of the greatest defenders of all time. Some guys are considered the greatest passers, team players. There's many guys that you can put in these different categories and consider them the greatest at what they did. But when it comes to overall legacy, obviously that's a totally different story when it comes to certain basketball players. The polarizing ones, the ones that truly changed the game forever. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more basketball content every week. Have a good day. Peace.